Archangel Michael comes forward urgently, speaking with a force that shakes the atmosphere around your spirit, saying that the vision heaven revealed to him about your tomorrow is unlike anything you've ever stepped into before because it carries the power to reverse years of financial struggle, break generational patterns of lack, dismantle cycles of setback, and push you into a realm of divine overflow that your family has never witnessed. And he says the reason you've been feeling estranged, pressure in your chest, a sudden pull toward responsibility, a heaviness mixed with anticipation, and moments where your thoughts drift toward what your life could look like if everything finally changed, is because your spirit felt this miracle approaching before your mind understood it. And Michael says heaven showed him a scene of you waking up tomorrow with an invisible shift in the air around you, doors that were previously locked cracking open, opportunities aligning like magnets divine, connections moving toward your name, financial pathways becoming visible, and resources that were once stagnant starting to flow toward you as if commanded by God's own breath. And he says this is not a small shift, not a symbolic one, not a gentle one, but a forced spiritual push that realigns your timeline. And he reveals that heaven has been preparing this miracle for months while you were battling doubt, discouragement, and delay, because God needed to position your heart to receive what your hands were not yet ready to carry. And Michael says the reason the enemy tightened his grip on your finances recently, the unexpected expenses, the broken promises, the delayed payments, the moments when someone owed you something but forgot, the opportunities that slipped through at the last second, is because the enemy sensed the financial door opening for you before you did, and tried to drain your strength so that you would enter tomorrow exhausted, distracted, and spiritually unfocused. But heaven intervened, halting the enemy's interference. And Michael says God is now preparing to release something into your life that is so significant it will immediately undo the damage of years, something that will relieve pressure from your mind, free your spirit from fear, allow you to breathe deeper, think clearer, and finally make decisions without anxiety shadowing your every step. And he says the financial miracle tomorrow is not random, not accidental, not a coincidence, but a divine response to the sacrifices you made in silence. Those nights you stayed awake worrying about how to make things work, those times you gave when you barely had enough for yourself, those moments you chose integrity over convenience even when it cost you, those situations where you helped someone financially and they never returned the favor, those seasons where you tithed, prayed, hoped, and waited even when your situation didn't change instantly. And he says heaven recorded every one of those silent sacrifices and stored them as seeds in the spiritual realm. And now the harvest from those seeds has grown too large to remain unseen. And tomorrow becomes the moment heaven begins releasing what has been held for you, protected for you, preserved for you, and multiplied for you. And Michael says you've been seeing signs without recognizing them. Unexpected alignment, random numbers, sudden clarity, a shift in your dreams, the feeling that your old worries no longer have the same power, moments where you caught yourself imagining a better life, as if something inside you knew it was closer than it felt. And he says the reason this miracle is tied to tomorrow is because heaven has aligned your timeline with someone, someplace, or something that will become the channel for this financial shift. Whether it comes as an opportunity, an unexpected message, a correction in your favor, a release of withheld funds, a chance meeting, a restored connection, a divine instruction, or an open door that feels almost too perfectly timed to be coincidence. And Michael says heaven has shown him that there is one specific action, one posture of your spirit, one alignment of your heart that must take place for this miracle to unfold without interference. And it begins with what you allow your spirit to carry into tomorrow, because God does not want you walking into this miracle with fear, with self-doubt, with the belief that you are undeserving, or with the energy of past disappointments clinging to your steps. And Michael says heaven needs your spirit in a receiving posture, not a surviving posture, because tomorrow you are not meant to struggle through another battle. You are meant to step into divine provision prepared for you long before you knew to ask. And he says the reason this message reached you today, not yesterday, not next week, but exactly in this moment, is because the spiritual door for this miracle opens for a short window, and heaven is aligning you now so that nothing, no distraction, no person, no doubt, no energy can cause you to miss the opening appointed for your name. And Michael says the next part will reveal why the enemy tried to distract you today, what energy must be removed before tomorrow, and the exact spiritual posture heaven requires for the financial miracle to manifest without resistance, because once this window opens, nothing will be the same for you again. Archangel Michael continues to speak over you with a voice that feels like thunder wrapped in light, saying, "Listen carefully now, because what I am about to reveal is not only about tomorrow's miracle, but about the spiritual chains that have been restricting your finances for years." He shows me that every time abundance was about to enter your life, a familiar pattern appeared. Someone suddenly needed money from you. An unexpected expense showed up. A wave of anxiety hit your chest, where your own mind whispered that you weren't ready, weren't capable, or didn't deserve the blessing. Michael calls these interruptions interference shadows, spiritual disruptions designed to keep you trapped in cycles of almost receiving, almost winning, almost breaking free, but never fully stepping into the abundance that is already written in your destiny. And he says the reason tomorrow's financial miracle is so important is because it's not just a blessing. It is a breakthrough, the kind that doesn't visit twice because it carries a time-sensitive mark in the spiritual realm tied to a window that opens only every few years, a window that God himself assigned to align perfectly with your current season of exhaustion, hope, and readiness. Michael says, before the miracle unfolds, something must be removed because heaven cannot deposit blessings where doubt is still living. He shows me the image of a hand reaching toward a glowing treasure, but a thin chain around the wrist keeps pulling it back each time it gets close. And then he says something powerful. This chain isn't financial, it is emotional. It comes from people who have spoken lack over you, people who have mocked your dreams, people who have told you to settle, people who planted fear in your spirit when all you needed was courage. Michael says you've been carrying their voices inside your head without realizing it. And every time you take one step toward abundance, their words echo louder than God's promises. But tomorrow, yes, tomorrow, something shifts because heaven is sending a financial reversal, the kind that flips everything the enemy thought he ruined. However, Michael warns, you must clear your spirit tonight. There is someone whose energy has been draining your confidence, someone who doesn't want you to rise, someone who sees your potential and feels threatened by it, and their jealousy has been creating invisible delays around your finances. Michael shows this person standing close to you, acting supportive on the surface, but secretly hoping you stay where you are so that they can feel superior, secure, and above you. He says their words come wrapped in concern, but beneath it lies envy, and that envy has been blocking the divine release tied to your name. Tomorrow's financial miracle cannot land in a space influenced by their doubt, so Michael asks you to emotionally disconnect from their opinions immediately, even if you cannot physically remove them. And then he reveals something deeper. Your blessing is waiting for your permission to enter. Not God's permission, not heaven's permission, yours. Because for years, disappointment taught you to expect the worst, to prepare for loss, to assume things never work out for you. And that mindset created a spiritual contract where your spirit braced for failure, even while your heart prayed for success. But now Michael says that contract is breaking, and tonight, he will place a new one in your spirit. One that says you are ready, worthy, chosen, and aligned with abundance that comes from God, not circumstance. He shows me a vision of tomorrow where something unexpected happens. A message, a call, a number, an approval, a decision, a chance, something financial that appears out of nowhere. And he says, even if it looks small, it carries the seed of something enormous. That's why he needs you to be spiritually open, not mentally tired or emotionally drained, because miracles don't always arrive looking miraculous. Sometimes they look like opportunities disguised as interruptions. Michael says you will notice 3 signs tonight: a sudden pressure leaving your chest, a moment of unusual calm, and a brief flicker of hope that doesn't feel forced. These are signals that your spirit is shifting into receiving mode. He also says that someone who owed you something, money, support, effort, apology, will suddenly think of you soon because heaven is nudging them to return what spiritually belongs to you. This is part of the reversal coming. But again, Michael repeats, you must not allow fear to speak louder than faith tonight, because the enemy will try one last time to distract you, maybe through overthinking, maybe through someone upsetting you, maybe through sudden worry, but he needs you to reject that energy instantly. Your financial miracle is already formed. It only needs your alignment. And Michael says, before part 3, I will reveal the exact condition heaven requires for tomorrow's miracle to fully materialize, because it is simpler than you think, but more powerful than you can imagine. He tells you to stay attentive now, because something sacred is about to be revealed in the next part. Archangel Michael now reveals the deeper layers of this miracle, the elements hidden behind the veil of your ordinary life that, if ignored, could prevent tomorrow's blessing from manifesting, saying, asterisk, you must understand that heaven operates through alignment, intention, and obedience. The financial miracle I am sending is a portal that requires spiritual, mental, and emotional readiness, not just hope or prayer. There is a key, a specific action you must take, a simple but powerful choice that opens the door for God's provision to enter fully. This is why I've been guiding you through subtle signs, nudges, moments of clarity, because they were all preparation. Every time you felt a pull to do something unusual, every time your heart whispered, take a step, it wasn't coincidence. It was heaven instructing your readiness for tomorrow. The first thing you must do is release control. Understand that trying to manufacture this miracle on your own, obsessing, overplanning, or questioning timing will only delay its manifestation. The universe is set to deliver, but only if your energy is unblocked, your heart unburdened, and your spirit fully aligned with faith and expectancy. I see that some of you have been holding on to fear, financial worry, resentment, or distrust, even small doubts, and those threads create resistance. Tonight, you must surrender all of that consciously, even symbolically, perhaps by writing down what you are releasing and burning it, or speaking out loud to heaven and letting your words carry it away. Michael emphasizes that this is not a ritual for superstition, but a declaration of your readiness to receive. Second, gratitude is a magnet. Your spirit must vibrate at the frequency of thankfulness. Reflect on the abundance you already have, even if it seems small, and speak it out loud. Gratitude is the signal that tells heaven, I am ready for more. Michael reveals that some of you have been so focused on scarcity that you unconsciously repel blessing. The miracle itself may arrive in the form of a check, a transfer, a business opportunity, a payment you weren't expecting, a deal going through, or even an unexpected gift from someone you didn't know was thinking of you. But its magnitude is proportional to your spiritual openness. Third, generosity unlocks increase. Michael is showing that if you share even a small portion of what you already have, whether it is time, money, or support, it triggers spiritual reciprocity. He calls this the law of divine circulation, and it's how heaven ensures that blessing flows freely and multiplies. If you hoard out of fear or pride, the miracle will be delayed or diminished. Fourth, speak affirmations. Words carry creative power, and what you declare aloud shapes your reality. Michael instructs you to speak statements such as, I am ready to receive divine provision. I release all resistance. I am aligned with God's plan for my financial breakthrough. Speak these with conviction. Let your voice resonate with certainty, not doubt, because doubt cancels the blessing's acceleration. Fifth, remove distraction and interference. Michael shows me some of you will receive this blessing, but will miss key signs tomorrow because you are distracted by social media, entertainment, gossip, or negative people. He says to keep your space, your mind, and your schedule intentionally clear from clutter, both physical and spiritual. The miracle will require discernment to recognize, and if your attention is scattered, you could overlook it. Sixth, patience is essential. Some of you may expect instant wealth, but Michael emphasizes that the miracle could appear gradually, in layers, or as a chain reaction. You must recognize each step as part of the larger plan, not dismiss the smaller victories as insignificant. Every single movement toward abundance tomorrow is intentional, connected, and designed to unlock the next layer. Seventh, Michael warns that fear will try one last time to paralyze you. Some will feel an inner voice whispering that this is too good to be true, that mistakes will happen, or that the world is against them. That voice is the enemy's last attempt to prevent your alignment. You must reject it. Take a deep breath. Recall past moments where you overcame impossibilities and declare with certainty, I trust heaven. I am aligned. I am ready. Eighth, Michael is showing me that timing is exact. There will be a specific moment tomorrow when the miracle initiates. It may feel sudden, a call, a notice, an insight, a meeting, a package, or a financial transfer, but he emphasizes that you will know when it happens. Your spirit will feel an undeniable surge, a sense of confirmation that this is the moment. Pay attention. Michael says some of you will miss it if you're distracted, skeptical, or emotionally unprepared. Ninth, he urges vigilance over relationships. Some people may appear with advice, opportunities, or commentary tomorrow, but not all will carry alignment. Your angel says to follow the internal confirmation. If your spirit says yes, engage fully. If it says caution, pause and pray. Do not allow human reasoning alone to guide you, because this is a supernatural assignment. 10th, there is an additional condition that many overlook: honesty with self and God. Michael shows that some of you unconsciously block miracles by harboring guilt, secrets, resentment, or unconfessed wrongs. Spiritual integrity creates open channels for divine provision, while hidden weight closes them. Therefore, before tomorrow, take time to release hidden burdens, speak the truth, and invite divine light into your consciousness, body, and home. Michael also reveals a shocking, yet beautiful insight. This financial miracle is connected not only to your provision, but to a spiritual mission. There is someone else who needs your blessing tomorrow, someone who will be impacted by the abundance God is sending you. He says that when the miracle arrives, you'll be inspired to act in a way that causes a ripple effect. A donation, a mentorship, a gift, or even just sharing advice. Your blessing is never solely for you. It is part of a divine chain. Michael stresses that the magnitude of what you receive is amplified by your willingness to share it. He shows a vision of you holding the miracle in your hands and then sending it forward. Not all, but enough. And the increase doubles, triples, and multiplies in ways your mind cannot yet calculate. And he warns, if you withhold, the miracle is diminished. That is why he keeps emphasizing alignment, openness, and spiritual preparation. Finally, Michael gives the most urgent instruction. Tonight before sleep, do a silent ritual of acceptance. Close your eyes. Envision a financial miracle arriving as if it is already in your hands. Feel the gratitude rising. See it flowing into your life and whisper to heaven, I am ready, I am aligned, I receive. This final act, visualization, alignment, declaration, is the key that opens the door for tomorrow's blessing. Michael says everything else has been arranged, orchestrated, and protected, but this conscious moment of readiness activates the miracle in your timeline. Without it, the blessing may arrive partially, delayed, or appear unrecognized. With it, it opens fully in the right form, at the right time, with the right people involved, and sets a chain reaction that will transform not just your finances, but your confidence, your peace, and your faith in ways you have never experienced. Michael is asking you now, will you do this tonight? Will you honor the steps, follow the instructions, release what must be released, and prepare for the miracle that God Himself has set specifically for you? Your angel says yes, but it requires your participation. This is your final preparation before tomorrow's breakthrough, the moment when faith becomes tangible and when heaven's timing manifests perfectly into your reality. And what happens after tomorrow is even more extraordinary. But that is for the next revelation. for the next moment of divine instruction, and it will arrive only if you are fully aligned, awake, and ready to receive the fullness of what is coming into your life. Now, Archangel Michael wants to reveal the ultimate layer of this miracle, the culmination of all divine orchestration, the unseen hands that have been moving behind the curtain for weeks, months, maybe even years, preparing this exact moment for you. And he emphasizes that tomorrow is not just another day, but a pivot point, a divine threshold that will separate the old cycle of struggle from the new season of abundance. Yet he warns that if even one key condition is ignored, the blessing could be delayed or muted. So listen carefully and prepare fully. First, Michael shows that you must maintain absolute clarity of intention, not just for yourself, but for everyone involved. Your heart must be singular in purpose, aligned fully with the divine plan, and any competing desires, doubts, or distractions must be consciously released tonight so that your spirit can operate at the highest frequency possible. Second, he emphasizes that faith without action is incomplete, and even though the miracle is ordained, heaven requires your participation, meaning that every nudge, insight, or inspiration you receive tomorrow must be acted upon decisively, with confidence, because hesitation can create missed opportunities or spiritual bottlenecks. And he shows me visions of people who received divine signals but delayed or ignored them, and thus received only fragments instead of the full measure. And you're not one of them, Michael says, because you are listening, because you are preparing, because your spirit is awake. Third, Michael reveals the importance of spiritual alignment with gratitude and generosity, saying that abundance flows most powerfully when your energy is expansive rather than contracted, when your joy is authentic rather than forced, and when your heart is open to sharing what you receive even before it manifests physically. Because the act of giving primes the channels for greater increase and creates a magnetic field that draws blessings from every direction. And he shows visions of angels carrying streams of gold, of doors opening, of accounts being credited, all orchestrated in response to your vibrational frequency of generosity, readiness, and faith. Fourth, Michael warns that resistance can come disguised as opportunity, and he reveals that tomorrow there may be people, offers, or situations that appear aligned with your miracle, but are tests of discernment. They may be distractions, traps, or false doors designed to measure whether your focus is on heaven's plan or human desire alone. So you must remain anchored in prayer, intuition, and spiritual guidance, knowing that Michael and the heavenly hosts are actively protecting your blessing from misalignment, and that your internal discernment is as crucial as the external manifestation. Fifth, he underscores the exact timing of the miracle, showing that it may arrive in a way you do not expect, perhaps as a text, call, unexpected refund, sudden client, a delayed payment now, arriving, or a new opportunity emerging at a precise moment. And he emphasizes that this is orchestrated so that your faith and attention are confirmed, so you feel the unmistakable surge in your spirit that signals divine intervention. And that awareness is necessary because missing the signal could result in misunderstanding, delayed recognition, or misapplication of the blessing. Sixth, Michael instructs you on preparation through ritual of acceptance, which is not superstition but a spiritual alignment practice. Tonight, imagine the miracle already realized, see the provision flowing into your hands, sense the relief, the empowerment, the joy, and whisper a clear declaration to heaven. I am ready. I receive. I trust. I am aligned, because this act is what activates the full magnitude of tomorrow's miracle. Seventh, he stresses the removal of inner blocks, meaning unresolved emotional patterns, hidden fears, guilt, or resentment must be consciously released. Michael shows that even minor resistance in the subconscious mind can create delays or partial manifestations. So tonight, engage in forgiveness, prayer, meditation, or journaling, whatever allows your spirit to open fully, because the miracle flows to open hearts and uncluttered consciousness. Eighth, Michael shows that spiritual protection is active but requires cooperation, meaning that your guardian angel and the heavenly host have encircled you, shielding your blessing from interference. But you must avoid actions, words, or energy that contradict faith, joy, and alignment, as even unintentional negativity can create friction. And he emphasizes that tomorrow is a sacred day for your breakthrough, deserving focus, integrity, and conscious participation. Ninth, he highlights the ripple effect, revealing that this financial miracle is not solely for you, but is part of a larger divine plan that impacts others. Your generosity, your wisdom, your choices in response to the miracle will trigger blessings for family, friends, or strangers in ways that multiply the original provision exponentially. And Michael warns that ignoring this dimension limits the power of the miracle. 10th, Michael shows the continuation and expansion of this blessing. The miracle tomorrow is the first door, but behind it are multiple doors opening sequentially, creating opportunities, financial increase, recognition, freedom from past debts or constraints, and empowerment that extends far beyond a single transaction or gift. Yet all doors require readiness, alignment, discernment, and faith to walk through. 11th, he cautions about emotional vigilance, because excitement, doubt, fear, or impulsive decisions can disrupt the flow, and he instructs you to maintain calm anticipation, internal peace, and spiritual confidence as the miracle unfolds. 12th, Michael emphasizes the act of witness, telling you that documenting tomorrow, acknowledging, and giving gratitude publicly or privately amplifies the blessing, confirms your faith, and honors the divine orchestration. 13th, he shares a divine insight. Some of you may receive the miracle in unconventional ways, through community, unexpected relationships, sudden insight, or opportunities that appear tangential but are connected spiritually, and discernment is required to recognize the hidden pathways of provision. 14th, Michael reveals a profound truth. The miracle is also transformational, not just financial. It carries with it spiritual clarity, emotional release, and a shift in consciousness, aligning you with higher levels of abundance consciousness, and preparing you for even greater blessings in months and years to come. 15th, he says that every single act you perform tomorrow, receiving, responding, giving, deciding, praying, acknowledging, sharing, is part of a sacred choreography between heaven and earth, and if followed fully, it triggers not just a financial miracle, but a cascading sequence of success, opportunities, divine timing, and momentum that elevates your entire life trajectory. And finally, Michael instructs, tonight, before sleep, do not engage with anything that clouds your focus or alignment. Do not succumb to doubt or fear. Do not entertain negativity, and instead visualize, declare, and surrender, knowing that the miracle is already on its way. Your readiness is the key, and tomorrow is the day when heaven's plan manifests fully, tangibly, and powerfully in your life, creating a breakthrough so profound that your heart will remember this moment forever. Your faith will be strengthened beyond measure, and your life will never be the same. And he whispers with urgency, this is your destiny unfolding. Act with awareness. Receive with joy. Trust with all your heart. The miracle is coming, and it is perfect, complete, and eternal. Be ready.